On the cold stone streets of an ancient Middle Ages city, a hungry boy sleeps under broken arches and ruined walls. One stormy night, the Knights Templar find him and, instead of turning away, bring him inside their fortress. As the years pass, he trains with sword, shield, and unshakable faith, fighting not only weakness and fear, but the shadows of his own past. Now, as a powerful Templar warrior, he faces his greatest test. A vast horde of demonic warriors, led by a terrifying assassin cloaked in darkness, marches on the city and the holy order that saved his life. The walls tremble, the sky burns red, and every choice he has ever made leads to this moment. Will his training, his courage, and the help of the Lord Almighty be enough when he stands eye to eye with the brutal demonic assassin at the heart of the storm? Chapter 1, Child of the Stones. I remember the streets before I remember my own name. The city was old even then. The stones were cracked, the wells were deep, and the walls rose so high they seemed to bite the sky. I slept beneath those walls, curled against cold rock, my ribs sharp under my skin, my stomach always empty. By day I searched for bread, crusts, and fallen fruit. By night I counted stars and tried not to listen to the fights, the shouts, the cries. I had no family, only the echo of their faces in dreams I could barely recall. Yet even in that darkness, there was one place that felt different. High above the slums stood a fortress of white stone, its towers marked with a red cross. The Knights Templar. To the street people, they were distant legends, men of iron and prayer who guarded pilgrims and defended the weak. To me, they were a light I could see from the deepest alleys on a night of hard rain, when my rags were soaked and my teeth would not stop shaking. I crawled under the crumbling arch of an abandoned chapel. The roof had fallen long ago, but a cracked stone cross still stood at the far end. I knelt before it, not because I was holy, but because I was broken. If you see me, I whispered the empty air. If you truly are there, give me a chance. I do not ask for riches, only a chance to be more than this. The rain beat down. The wind howled through broken windows. No thunder spoke back. No voice answered. But the next morning, the Templars came. Chapter 2, The Gate of the Templars. I woke to the sound of hooves on wet stone and the jingle of metal. Two knights in white mantles, each marked with a red cross, rode slowly down the alley, their horses' breaths steaming in the cold morning air. I tried to hide. Street children learn fast that soldiers and guards rarely bring good news. But one of the knights, a tall man with gray at his temples and eyes like storm clouds, saw me crouching behind a broken barrel. "You there," he called. His voice was stern but not cruel. "Come out." I stepped into the open, shaking, soaked, my bare feet numb. "You slept here?" he asked. "Yes, my lord," I answered, though I knew he was not a lord like the merchants whispered about. He studied me for a moment, then glanced at the cracked stone cross behind me. Rain still dripped from his arms. "What is your name, boy?" I hesitated. Names meant little on the street. Finally I said, "I am called No One, sir." The corners of his mouth moved, almost a smile, but his eyes stayed serious. "Every soul has a name," he said. "You will remember yours. Until then, you will answer to Elias. Come." He held out a gloved hand. I stared at it, not sure if this was a trick, a test, or a dream sent an answer to my broken prayer. Then I stepped forward and took his hand. He lifted me onto his horse, settling me before him. I could feel the cold steel of his breastplate against my back, and for the first time in my life, I felt protected. We rode through streets I had only ever walked, past markets and fountains, climbing higher and higher until the houses grew cleaner and the smells less harsh. At last we reached the great gate of the Templar fortress, its iron teeth tall and proud. The knight spoke to the guards. Words like orphan service and gods were floated over my head. The gate creaked open. Inside, the world was different. Stone walls rose smooth and strong. Banners with red crosses hung in perfect lines. Men in armor walked with purpose, their steps firm and steady. The gray-templed knight dismounted and helped me down. "Elias," he said, "this house of the temple belongs to the Lord Almighty. If you stay, you will work, you will obey, and you will learn. No easy road, but it is a road. Do you understand?" I looked back once through the open gate, down toward the slums where I had slept and starved. Then I looked at the knight at his steady eyes, at the cross on his chest. "Yes," I said. "I understand." He placed a simple wooden cross into my hand. "Then welcome," he said. "I am Brother Roland. From this day, you are under our care." The gate closed behind me with a heavy thud. It sounded to my ears like the end of one life and the start of another. Chapter 3. Fire and Discipline. Life within the fortress was harder than the streets. But in a different way, at dawn a bell rang and I was on my feet. We prayed before the day began, rows of brothers and squires kneeling on cold stone. Then came work, carrying water, sweeping halls, cleaning weapons, tending horses. My back ached, my hands blistered, but my stomach was full and my bed, though simple, was dry. Brother Roland watched me closely. "You asked for a chance," he said one evening as we stacked firewood. "This is what it looks like. Not miracles from the sky, but the strength to do the next hard thing." The true trials began when I was given a wooden sword. The training yard was a ring of packed earth surrounded by stone walls. Older squires sparred with wooden blades, their movements sharp and fast. When I first raised my practice sword, it felt heavier than my own body. The master at arms, Brother Matthew, barked orders, feet apart, knees bent, blade up, again, again, again. My arm shook. After a few minutes, the sword slipped from my sweaty hands and fell. Laughter rose from some of the older boys. My face burned. "Pick it up," Brother Matthew said, not unkindly, but I did. I swung until my shoulders felt they would tear from their sockets. I fell. I rose. I fell again, 18 night. I lay in my narrow bed, muscles screaming, and stared at the wooden cross above me. "Lord," I whispered, "you brought me here. Do not let me fail them. Do not let me waste this gift." Days became weeks. Weeks became months. I grew stronger. My strikes grew cleaner. My footing surer. Brother Roland taught me more than swordplay. He taught me to read a little, to write my name, to understand the vows the Templars live by: poverty, chastity, obedience, and the promise to defend the weak and the holy places of God. "You were once weak," he said. "Never forget it. Your strength is not only for you. It is for those who still sleep on stone." His words burned into me like fire. Years passed. The boy who had begged for scraps became a young man who could stand in the training yard from sunrise to sunset. My body changed, but more than that, my heart did. I began to believe that perhaps the Lord had not only heard a street child's prayer, but was shaping him for something more. Chapter 4. Night of the Red Cross. The day I took the mantle of the temple. The city bells rang, cleared. I stood in the great chapel of the fortress. Sunlight pouring through high windows, colored glass painting the floor in red and gold. Around me, knights in white mantles knelt, their armor gleaming. Before me, on the altar, lay a folded cloak, white linen marked with a red cross. Brother Roland, now older and walking with a slight limp, stood beside the master of the house. "You have trained your body," the master said. "You have disciplined your mind. You have opened your heart to the Lord Almighty. Do you, Elias, swear to live and die as a knight of the temple?" My throat was dry, but my voice did not shake. "I swear," I said. "By God Almighty, I swear to defend the weak, to protect the innocent, and to stand as a shield against darkness." The master lifted the white mantle and placed it across my shoulders. It was heavier than I had imagined, not in weight, but in meaning. Brother Roland fastened the clasp of my throat. "You were once no one," he whispered so only I could hear. "Now you belong to a brotherhood that will remember your name in their prayers, long after we are all dust." I bowed my head, tears burned in my eyes. From that day, my life took on a new shape. I patrolled the city walls with other knights, watching the roads for pilgrims in need of escort. I trained younger squires, seeing in them the frightened boy I had once been. I visited the poorer districts when duty allowed, sharing bread and quiet words with children who still slept on stone. Peace seemed to settle over the city like a warm cloak. Trade grew. The markets bustled. The people walked with their heads a little higher, knowing the Red Cross watched over them. But peace in this world is never as solid as stone. It is a thin glass stretched over a storm. From beyond the edges of our maps, something darker was stirring. Chapter 5. the shadow on the horizon. The first signs were small. Travelers spoke of villages left empty overnight, of fields scorched though no fire was seen, of a black shape moving against the stars. Some said it was only fear and rumor. Others crossed themselves and hurried on. Then came the merchant from the north, his cart broken, his eyes wild. "They are not men," he gasped at the city gate. "Their leader walks like a man, but his face is not of this earth." His warriors move in silence, and the very air turns cold where they pass. The council met within the fortress. I stood at Brother Roland's side, now his equal in rank, though never in wisdom. Demons, one knight scoffed. Childish tales. "Do not be so quick to laugh at what you do not understand," Brother Roland said softly. "The enemy of our souls is old, and he wears many shapes." The master turned to me. "Elias," he said, "you have walked the streets of the city in hunger and in armor. You know its people, its walls, its fears. If darkness comes, they will look to us. Are we ready?" I thought of the children in the alleys, of the families in the markets, of the old and sick in the houses near the wall. "No," I said, "but we can be." We doubled the watch. We sharpened swords, repaired shields, checked the hinges of every gate. Yet for all our steel and stone, fear still seeped through, whispering that we faced more than bandits or invading armies. Point one night, as I walked the wall, the sky above the northern plain glowed a deep, unnatural red, and a wind rose, bitter cold, though it was not winter. In the distance, I saw shapes moving against the horizon. Too many to count. A black tide crawling toward you. I, in the center of that tide, walked a figure taller than the rest, armor dark and twisted, movement smooth and lethal. Even from far away, I felt his gaze, sharp and burning, as if he could already see me standing on the wall. I did not yet know his name. I only knew that he was coming, and that he carried with him the promise of ruin. I left the wall and went straight to the chapel. Kneeling before the altar, I pressed my forehead to the cold stone. "Lord Almighty," I whispered, "you raised me from dust. You gave me brothers, a home, a purpose. Do not let them fall. Strengthen my arm, steady my heart. Let me stand, no matter what walks against us." The candles flickered. Somewhere deep inside me, fear and faith wrestled in silence. The war had not yet begun, but the first battle in my own heart was already underway. Chapter 6. The Night of Fire and Steel. They came at dusk. The sky burned red, as if the sun itself were bleeding. The ground shook under the march of countless feet. From the walls we saw them clearly at last. A horde of twisted warriors, their armor jagged and dark, their eyes dull embers and skull-like helms. And at their head walked the one the merchant had whispered about. He was a terrifying face of demon, athletic build, sharp claws and teeth, demonic warrior, wearing demonic armor, yet he moved with the grace of a trained killer. Horned shadows framed his head. His armor seemed to drink the light. In one hand he carried a long, cruel blade that curved like a talon. His gaze swept our walls, cold and patient. The city behind us murmured in fear. Children were rushed inside. Doors were barred. Prayers rose like smoke dead on the wall. The Templars took their places. Shields locked, bows notched, swords ready. Brother Roland stood at my side, his hair now white, his face lined. He smiled without humor. "You asked for a chance to be more than a street child," he said. "Here it is." I could not help but smile back, though my heart pounded. The horde halted just beyond the reach of our arrows. For a moment, there was only the wind. Then the demonic assassin stepped forward and raised his blade. His voice cut across the field, harsh and cold. "Men of stone and painted crosses," he called. "Your walls are dust, your faith a weak flame. I am the storm that snuffs it out. Surrender, and your deaths will be swift. Resist, and I will savor your ruin." Beside me, Brother Roland lifted his own sword. "This city is under the care of the Lord Almighty," he answered, his voice steady and strong. "We are his servants, not yours. If you seek to enter, you must pass through us, and we will not break." A low, cruel laugh rippled from the assassin. "So be it," he said as he lowered his blade, and the horde surged forward. Arrows flew from our walls, darkening the sky. Demonic warriors fell, only to be trampled by those behind them. They hit our gates like a wave of iron, claws scraping against wood, blades hacking at stone. "Hold!" I shouted to men under my command. "For your families, for your brothers, for the Lord who sees us." Ladders slammed against the walls. Clawed hands gripped the stones. The first of the enemy crested the battlements, snarling. I met them with steel. I end that storm of motion and noise. Time shattered. There was only the next block, the next strike, the next breath. I moved as I trained for years to move, each cut and parry born from 1,000 repetitions in the yard. Yet even as we fought, I felt the assassin's presence. He moved through his own ranks like a shadow, faster than any mortal warrior, cutting down defenders who stood in his path. His eyes always searching, always turning toward the walls where the red cross flew. Hours passed, or perhaps only moments. The gate groaned, stones cracked. The city wavered on the edge of doom, and still we did not break. Chapter 7. The Light That Does Not Fail. The gate finally burst with a scream of torn wood and shattered iron. The horde poured into the streets, a black flood of blades and claws. Templars rushed down from the walls to meet them, forming lines in the narrow alleys. Turning the city itself into a fortress of stone and current, I found myself in the heart of the storm, my sword slick with sweat, my lungs burning. Beside me, Brother Roland fought like a man 40 years younger, his every strike precise, his every step guarded by prayer. Then I saw him. The demonic assassin stepped through the broken gate as if he were entering a quiet garden, while the battle raged around him. He walked toward us with slow certainty, his eyes locked in the red cross of my mantle. "Templar," he called, his voice cutting to the clash of steel. "You shout of faith. Come and show me its power." He pointed his curved blade at me. Before I could answer, Brother Roland stepped between us. "You want him," he said. "You must pass me first." The assassin tilted his head, almost curious. "Old man," he said, "I do not waste time on fading candles." With a speed my eyes could barely follow, he lunged, steel rang. Brother Roland met the first blow, then the second, his arms shaking with the force. Sparks flew. Each strike from the assassin was like a hammer. Step by step, he drove my men aback. "Roland," I shouted, tried to reach them, but a tide of demonic warriors crashed against our line, driving me away. Brother Roland blocked another blow, then another. His knees buckled. "Elias," he called, his voice strained but clear. "Remember, your strength is not only for you." The assassin's blade flashed. Time slowed. I saw Brother Roland fall. Something inside me broke open. I do not remember the words I cried out, only that I cried them from the deepest part of my soul. A prayer, a plea, a roar of grief and faith bound into one. "Lord Almighty," I shouted, "I am still the child who begged under your broken cross. Do not let this darkness win." The world seemed to hold its breath. The clouds above, black and churning, split just enough for a shaft of pure white light to break through. It fell upon the battlefield, not burning, not blinding, but steady and strong. Where it touched, fear loosened its grip on our hearts. The assassin paused, his hellish eyes narrowing. "What trick is this?" he hissed. "No trick," I answered, stepping toward him at last, sword raised. "Only the hand of the one you mocked." Our blades met. He was faster than any man I had faced, his strikes heavy and cruel. But I had not trained all those years for nothing. Every lesson, every scar, every whispered prayer in the quiet hours rose within me. He drove me back. I sidestepped. He struck high. I blocked and answered low. His claws scraped my shield, sparks flying. My muscles burned, but something stronger than flesh held me up. "You are only flesh," he snarled, growing angry. "I am more than that." "Then it will be enough," I said, "that I am not alone." In that moment I knew my journey from the stones to this battlefield had not been an accident. The hunger, the training, the brotherhood, the faith, it had all led here, to the stand between my city and its ruin. With a cry that was part battle shout, part prayer, I pressed forward. Around us, the Templars rallied. The sight of one of their own standing firm against the assassin lit something in them. They struck harder, stood taller, refused to give up even as the night raged on. I cannot tell you every move of that final clash, only that, with each breath, I chose not to surrender, not to fear, Not to forget the boy who had knelt before a broken cross and asked only for a chance. And when at last silence fell and dawn's first light touched the city walls, the red cross still flew above them, stubborn and bright. The streets where I had once slept on stone were scarred, but standing, the brothers who remained gathered in the chapel, offering thanks with hoarse voices and tired hearts. There were empty places among us, but their memory became our strength, and I knelt once more before the altar, armor battered, sword at my side. Lord Almighty, I whispered, you took a nameless child from the gutter and made him a shield for many. Let my life and every breath that remains be yours. When I rose, the world outside was still dangerous. Enemies would come again. Battles would wait. But I knew now that no darkness could ever erase the light that does not fail. And to you who listen to my story, know this. No matter how low you begin, no matter how heavy your past, you are not beyond hope. Discipline can shape your body. Faith can steel your heart. And with courage, you too can stand when everything around you falls. If a street child can become a Templar of the Almighty, then you, too, can rise beyond what the world expects of you. If this story moved you, remember that your support keeps tales like this alive. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss a new legend. Activate notifications so you're the first to stand with our heroes. Give a like to help this story reach more hearts. Leave a comment sharing what part inspired you the most. And share this video with someone who needs to be reminded that no beginning is too humble for a great destiny.